In 2009, a new indie company calling themselves Giant Sparrow debuted the germ of an idea they had for a game that would start with all the geometry of the level present, but completely white, requiring you to splat black paint around to see the contours of the world. It was a great idea, but, well, I've seen a number of these tech demos where they had a great idea and then struggled to make it fun. After that showing at IGF, Sony took them under their wing and guided them to Sony Santa Monica to refine the dream they had in mind. 3 years later, in October 2012, the unfinished Swan was, well, finished. Now, they did realize that they couldn't rely on that particular gameplay mechanic for the entire title, so over the course of the game, it does switch up the action as you puzzle your way through the storybook setting. All of this takes place around the main character, a boy named Monroe. His mother was a prolific painter, but had a habit of leaving her paintings incomplete. When she died, he was only allowed to choose from one of the 300 works of art she left behind to take with him. His choice was that of Throughout the game, you're treated to narration almost like what you'd get on Reading Rainbow when they told their tales. Right down to the cant of her voice, it really tickles that very specific bit of nostalgia.
Bursting with joy, the king locked himself in his workshop painting gifts for his queen. He never saw her lack of interest, though she made no effort to hide it. The only gift she kept was his first, a little silver paintbrush.
Later on, you encounter the king of the land you've been exploring as well, voiced by Monty Python's Terry Gilliam. He recounts to Monroe tales of the unsettling dreams he's had, asking for Monroe's help to maintain his kingdom.
And then my statue spoke and said,
"Help me! Some little hooligan is running around splattering everything in the garden. I think he's headed for the... Something got in my mouth.
oh dear.
It's a touching story, and you'll not be surprised to learn that Giant Sparrow's only other game release to date was What Remains of Edith Finch, a story-driven game with more than a little bit of the same feel to the tale being woven. Unfinished Swan in 2012, Edith Finch in 2017. We're about due for another tweeted treat, and Ian Dallas has recently mentioned in an interview that they're working on a new game based on the movement of animals and how that might give us a glimpse into how they see the world. Not quite sure what he's got in mind, but I'm sure they'll knock it out of the park with the story. I just hope they plan on sourcing animals that have more going on in their mind than my cats. Are you a fan of Unfinished Swan or Edith Finch? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments below or on Twitter at TesseractUnfold. Meanwhile, please like, subscribe, spread the word, and I'll catch you again next week.
I opened the door, but there was nothing there, just white space.